Welcome everybody to another episode of Your Three Uniques. I am so thrilled to be able to introduce you to Hilary Kilgour. She lives here in Vancouver alongside me. And a couple of things about Hilary that you should know is that she's a sustainable innovator, she's a lover of all industries, and she's a rainforest runner. So Hilary, want to share some more stuff about yourself?
Yeah, pleasure to join you, Brenda. It's so great to be here. Um, when you say more stuff, what are you interested in?
Well, we'll get into your three unique, so save those for us. Yeah, tell me, what are you doing right now during the times of social distancing? What's like your number one thing that you look forward to doing every day?
Well, one where you might actually be able to hear in the background is I have a 2-year-old puppy. So we've been doing lots of walks, which is kind of fun because it's a different way of seeing the neighborhood and really getting a chance to even see people that I didn't know who are in my own community, which is kind of one of those silver linings that I really appreciate. One of the other things is really helping organizations that I really believe in and that I believe are part of the future that we want post-COVID.
Awesome, that's so amazing. And what's one of the things that's on your nightstand table right now?
Ooh, one of the ones I just finished was Untamed, which I'm sure most people, a lot of
Yeah,
people have read, but really, really appreciated Glennon Doyle talking about kind of unlearning and relearning in many ways about the power that women have.
yeah, absolutely. I'm learning some of the legacy things that we inherit, innocently, right? But we can let some of those things go and flourish without them. That's awesome. Um, what's been your favorite go-to snack during social distancing?
Go-to snack. Okay, carrots, because you can
Mm.
never have too many carrots in my mind, with cashew dips. So I've
Oh,
been playing around with different cashew dips with them.
oh, nice. I'm into the cashew dips as well. So Mary's crackers and cashew dips. That's my kind of go-to. And then what are you most grateful for right now?
Hmm. Having a home that I love in a community that I really value. And as someone who's moved a lot in recent years,
Mm,
it couldn't come at a better time, and just makes me really appreciate being able to have a safe, happy home.
that's nice. Thanks. Thanks for sharing. So let's hear about your three uniques.
Yeah, 3 uniques. Okay, it's always a hard thing to get it down to 3 things. So the 3 things that I've identified are um, everything I've learned in life, I've learned as being a female athlete, and that takes many shapes. And then the other one is to date, I've been able to work with 5 different BCorps. If you're not familiar with BCorps, we can chat more about what that is, but really embedding business in there. Uh, and then the third one is the intersection between, I love playing at the intersection between tech and innovation.
Mm, okay, amazing. So let's go back up to the top. So female athlete. What's been your, I guess, expand more on that, your learnings in life?
Yeah, so I've been thinking a lot about people who are graduating, especially because right now is a very strange time for both high school and university graduations.
Mhm.
And really thinking back on most of the things that I've learned in life was because I was an athlete while I was studying. So in high school, I played basketball and volleyball, and I ran and I skied and I did all of those things. And then when I went to university, I actually played varsity sports for 4 years, including a short stint in New Zealand. And I say all those things not to boast, but actually to say many people have always wondered, how did you get good marks in school? And I would often say it's because I was able to channel my energy through sport, and ultimately through the teams that I was able to be a part of. And one of the reasons that I chose the sports that I ended up playing with and then later ended up becoming a coach and doing my coaching certification is that I really do think, or at least in my experience, I've learned the most from being a part of a team about both my strengths, but also how to support other people's strengths. And it's something that I didn't realize at that point in my life how valuable it would be for me in my career.
Yeah, that's
And
amazing.
so lots of failures. And ultimately, it's a lot of those things that I learned with long hours of practice and long hours of, I think of those weekends of sports, probably like your daughter's weekend tournaments and some of those funny, quirky things, but they've just continued to come back to me throughout my career.
That's amazing. And then tell us about the B Corp.
Yeah, so I started my sustainable innovation career while I was in my MBA in sustainable systems. And I was fortunate when I was studying it, it's now called Presidio Graduate Institute, that we had one of the founders of B Corp come in and speak to us. So got to meet him and really understand it from his perspective. And what I loved about it is it allowed me to understand how, well, first of all, what is B Corp? It's a certification kind of like fair trade, but for business.
Mm-hmm.
And it requires, and I've just been doing one over the last few weeks, and so it's pretty thorough, and it really looks at how you as an organization have structured and embedded your purpose, your mission, and even all parts of your operations and how you treat your employees. There's tons of questions, but what's really key about it is it's businesses who are really wanting to walk the talk,
Right.
and businesses who want to be a part of building something bigger through business as kind of a force for good.
And are there more and more companies becoming that?
Yeah, so Danone became one last year. So you may know our yogurt company, that our global yogurt company, which is one of the largest ones now.
Okay.
Some of the earlier ones were Ben and Jerry's and Patagonia, and brands that we know as being leaders. Some of the newer ones that I've been fortunate to work for are Hootsuite. The organization that I started my career with, became a B Corp a couple years after I departed. And there's tons of small startups who are understanding, and I think it's because they're younger founders, but I think it goes throughout the ages that they want to embed this in their businesses from the start.
That's amazing. Yeah, versus trying to maybe pull out some older systems that don't necessarily comply with B Corp and then try to convert their people over, or their customers over. That's great. It's amazing.
And the fun part is it really is part of what the new state of business, and I think post-COVID is going to be even more critical. When you go down the street and all these businesses say, like, we care about you, it's saying it, but it's saying it to say we care and we've done the work to show that we care.
Right,
And
which is really important.
That's really important.
Yeah, absolutely. And then your third unique.
My third unique is the belief that tech and innovation, we had a professor in school who reminded us, this is super jerky, and you'll get a sense of how jerky I am, but that the cornerstones of nature are fractals. And so you can look at, all parts of nature are made up of binaries in some ways. And so is technology. Technology is made up of a binary of zeros and ones. And what I love about that is that in many cases, technology and nature are competing with each other. And yet these ideas of biomimicry or circular economy are showing us that our technology has a lot to learn from nature. And so one of the things that I really like when we're seeing a lot of technologies emerge and a lot of innovation, it's actually taking inspiration from nature in many ways. And one of the reasons that I really like it is it's not that we're out of ideas, but I think if we're really going to address some of the greatest problems that we have in the world, we have to actually go back to what's the problem, not the pain point. What's the problem we're trying to solve in the world?
Yes.
And how can technology help solve that?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's technology and sometimes it's people, but it's kind of that marriage between the two.
I'm in the process of reading Dan Heath's new book, Upstream. And he talks exactly about that. He does definitely look at technology, but he looks at overall, like, people, processes, technology, and that, like, let's stop fixing like these little microcosm issues. Let's go upstream, like up the river to like where the point of origin is, and rebuild the entire system. And it sometimes sounds like really daunting, but maybe, again, all these little iterative changes that we make are just compounding into a bigger hairdo, and like go upstream to like that point of origin. And although that may seem daunting, you may actually fix it right at the root cause than just all these little microcosms of it. Yeah. Yeah, so it's awesome.
Yeah, and what's so interesting is in technology, when we're talking about like a Slack or a Hootsuite with many different partners, we call them ecosystems. And I
Right.
think what's so interesting about that is we talk about it as product ecosystems because in many ways, the complexity or the interdependence of something that we've learned from nature.
Right. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for sharing your three uniques with all of us today. I really appreciate you taking the time. It's been great getting to know you, Hilary. And I'll make sure too that when we post this video, once we do, we'll have all like your social contact information so people can reach out to you because maybe they have more questions about your uniques and want to talk to you more about it.
Awesome. Thank you,
And
Brenda. It was such a pleasure.
oh, you're welcome. And for everybody else, I just want to encourage you, like Hilary's done today, just to get out there and share your uniques. I know that many of you have been, inconvenienced by the situations that are going on right now. Either businesses closing, your jobs may be furloughed, maybe your internship got canceled through school. Whatever those cases may be, there are people out there that are hiring and looking for great talent, and they're looking for your skills and abilities. So I just encourage you to still actively apply, follow all the career, counseling advice that's out there about how to shape your resume and your LinkedIn profile, but then also use LinkedIn and other social media platforms as a way to share your three uniques. There are recruiters, hiring managers, entrepreneurs just waiting to look for you and waiting to find the information that you want to share with them. So again, thanks a lot, Hilary, and good luck to everybody.